Hello lovers, welcome back to another For the Marriage video. I am Laco Hanson, a marriage coach, and if this is your first time to this channel here, one, welcome. Two, make sure you find that subscribe button below and click it. Over here on For the Marriage, we talk about all things marriage. We provide positive content, services, and products that's going to help marriages reconnect, thrive, and build fulfilling marriages worth having. So if you are looking for a community that has those traits, this is going to be the community for you. So don't hesitate to click that subscribe button. Three, thank you so much for joining me in this video. For my old lovers, you know it's always a pleasure to have you back. So thank you so much for joining me in this video. We got a good topic today, but before we get into the topic, I wanted to cover really quick 3 announcements that I wanted to share with you all. So let's get into the announcements and then we'll get into the video. So announcement number 1 is that I started a blog. I wanted to give my readers a place where they can go and read about what we're doing here on For the Marriage, or what we're talking about. This month in October, we're talking about or focusing more on poor communication. So you can head over to the link in the description box below and find the For the Marriage blog for you if you are a reader. And then announcement number 2 is going to be a reminder that October's Mystery Love Bag is still available for purchase. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, really quick, in September, I launched the first Mystery Love Bag. And the reason why I launched the Mystery Love Bag is because every time I talk to somebody, especially married couples, about when was the last time you all dated or went on a date or whatever the case may be, they would be like, oh, I don't remember, or it's been so long. Literally 9 out of 10 times, it's like, oh, it's just been so long. I don't even know the last time we did. So I wanted to create something that is pretty much hands off for you all, where it arrives to your door. It helps you be more intentional in your marriage. It helps you date your spouse. And then it also allows you to nurture your marriage. So if you are watching and you're not married yet, but you have married friends, you can get this for them as a gift. Or if you are married, then go ahead and get it for your marriage, because I have gotten great reviews about it. And I can already see from September being the first bag to October, the elevation and the growth of the bag. So that link as well is in the description box. Go ahead and check it out. And then number 3 is kind of going to tie into that. Number 3 announcement is going to tie into that, where I have literally been driving myself crazy because I've been telling myself, focus on your clients and focus on the Mystery Love Bag. But in my entrepreneurial mind, business mindset, I have been really wanting to open an online shop. That way, if you're not really looking into the Mystery Love Bag and you just want to have some fun things for you to inspire you to stick it through in your marriage and stuff like that, you can go to the marriage shop and actually get that for you and your spouse. So I'm super excited about that. I think that's going to be rolling now, maybe December time frame. I'm working on some things, December, January time frame. I would love to have it out in December, but I'm not going to put too much on myself. So be looking out for that. Be looking out for that. And what I plan to do on this channel here is, because now it's For the Marriage, I want to do Mondays are sit down serious conversations, which we're about to get into in a few moments. And then Wednesday or Thursday be more of like the behind the scenes, building the online shop, showing you all products, getting you all excited about it, because I really, really do just want to shower the marriage community with inspiration. So be looking out for that. And without further ado, let's get into the topic. So I wanted to do this topic when hard times get harder, because we are in a season, we are entering the holiday season where things are crazy and hectic. And I just want to remind you all that our marriages have to be a priority. We have to make sure our marriage is intact during this holiday season. Like, go through the holiday season in love with your spouse, right? Nurturing your marriage, being intentional in your marriage, so that at the end of the holiday season, you can look back and you can say, like, we made it through, let's keep doing what we're doing. But first, you have to recognize where you currently are in your marriage, right? Are you all doing well? Right? Are you all on the cusp of having arguments or going into that challenging season, or are you already in the hard times? You have to be able to recognize where you are. That way you can better nurture your marriage in the spot where you currently are. I know the holidays time is supposed to be filled with love, coming together, being thankful, and showering people with gifts and stuff like that. And instead it becomes this season where marriages are stressed, spouses aren't talking to each other, and it just becomes very hard on marriages. And I think that it's very important for us to have this conversation now before we roll into Halloween, because after Halloween it's going to be Thanksgiving and then Christmas, and people are going to be coming in and out of your house, and your full focus sometimes is not going to be able to be on your marriage. It's going to be on entertaining who is in your area or in your home or where you currently are going to be traveling, or where you're going to be traveling, excuse me. So it's very, very important to pay attention to that, right? Recognize where you are. It's very important for you to pay attention to where you currently are, so that when you are in that cycle of, okay, I got to put on a smile because, we're over here at my mom's house, or we're over here at my dad's house, or we're doing whatever, we're going to visit this family member, they're coming to visit us. That behind your smile isn't sadness because your marriage is going through a hard time. You can literally show up to wherever you'll be and actually be authentically happy with your spouse and not putting on a front. So when the hard times get harder, there's a few things that I want to bring to your attention, right? One, like I just talked about, you have to recognize where your marriage currently is. Recognize where your marriage is currently at. Number two, recognize, this is where it goes into the poor communication part. Number two is recognize that when things are hard in marriage, that's probably when the communication is at its weakest, where communication is poor or where communication is non-existent, right? When me and my spouse is like on cloud 10, I feel like we're communicating the best, all right? But when we are in a hard time, I feel like communication is bad, right? Like we're not communicating at our best. So you have to understand, like, okay, are we in a hard time? How are we communicating? Like understanding that, like, I'm feeling a certain type of way, they may be feeling a certain type of way, and our communication is probably weakened because of that. So just understand that, like, communication, I think that if communication was always good, then there would not be any arguments or disagreements or anything like that ever in life, right? So, or you have those people that say, we don't argue, we don't disagree, we don't have those things, right? Because the communication is good, right? So that's how I see it. If communication is great, is because your marriage is doing good. But when your marriage is, going through a hard time and challenges and stuff like that, which we all, whoever is currently married, have experienced that. And if you haven't experienced it, not to wish bad on your marriage, but you will, okay? So just understand, like, when your marriage is going through a harder time, communication is probably going to be weakened before that. This is how you can recognize how you are showing up. One, you are showing up with hope that things are going to get better, and that your mindset is like, I want things to get better. Or you can show up in the complete opposite, where you're just like in doubt, like, this is not going to get better. Like, nope, I need to prove my point. It's a little bit of sassiness, attitude, emotions are high. And then you have to recognize, like, okay, I showed up with hope that things are going to get better, and they got better. Now, I'm going to be very honest and transparent. You can only be in control of how you show up, right? Your spouse may not be ready to show up with hope and with the idea or the mindset that things are going to get better, right? They may show up with doubt. So until you both are showing up with hope, things are not going to get better. But if you show up with doubt, then things are probably not going to get fixed, because you have an agenda, right? You have something that you want to say. There's things that you need to get off your chest, and you need to make it clear in this conversation. So just recognize how you are showing up to any arguments, any conversations, anything that is going to determine how the marriage is going to move forward, right? So when the hard times get harder, it's typically because the way you show up. Are you showing up to continue the argument? Are you showing up with doubt? That is why the hard times get harder. And when I mean the hard times, I'm not talking about like serious hard times, but I'm talking about you all are in an argument, you're not talking to each other, you're not on the same page, there's disagreements, something was said that wasn't supposed to be said. Those are the hard times that I'm talking about, where you want it to get better and you don't want to live or soak in this like disagreement or, you know, this argument or anything like that. Those are the hard times. I'm not talking about like the major hard times, because sometimes challenges and things are brought into us from the universe that we can't control, right? Our mindset cannot really dictate how things are going to play out. But in the argument, in the disagreements, in the we're not talking to each other type of moments, it is truly how you are showing up. And if the hard times get harder, it's because you in your mindset wasn't ready to move on. You still had an agenda, a negative agenda. So remember that. Show up ready to make a difference. Don't show up ready to argue. Hopefully this video helps you all as we enter the holiday season and help you understand that, you know, communication will not always be at the tip top. And if it is, that means your marriage is probably doing good. So keep it up, all right? Other than that, I hope that you all got something for this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you check out the things that I announced, the blog, the October Mystery Love Bag. Those links are in the description box below. And then be prepared for some behind the scenes of us getting ready to open our online store. Other than that, I hope that you all have a wonderful week and that you and your spouse are intentional in your marriage and that you are nurturing your marriage. Until next time, let's do marriage right.